beans or?
Yeah, it's like sweet bean paste inside. It's like a pancake type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to dig in.
I'll try it.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, it's got little squashy faces on it.
Nice.
Cheers, brother.
Talking
Cheers,
about- yeah,
cheers, cheers, cheers.
How about that?
That's good.
Really good.
Oh yeah.
Makes me sad when you eat your face.
Very famous shop in Japan. When I heard Kiko playing guitar, this is a weird analogy, but it was like watching someone have sex with
I
their
knew you were going to say
ex-girlfriend.
that.
You knew it, didn't
I
you?
knew you were going to say that.
It was like watching someone have sex with your ex-girlfriend and doing a damn good job of it. It was really like very strange emotion. As you all know, Magadeth is Dave Mustaine. Always is, always was. But the thing about Dave that is probably keeping him in the forefront and keeping him like in people's psyche, so to speak, is the fact that you have this music that you want to get made and you're always finding the people who can actually get it done for you. And it's a lifelong quest, and it's so really hard to do, even on the short term. But on the long term, it's just, you get my ultimate respect for that.
Thanks, Marty.
And playing Budokan 30 years plus into the career, it's a testament to the music that, it's your music. It still sounds like the first album. I mean, what you're trying to do, it's the same thing, but in a good way. Like AC/DC has that thing that they always keep trying to do it. And am I making sense?
Yeah.
And I think that the thing that needs to be said about this is he's always allowed these great people to shine in the band. And for me, it was an opportunity to get from the underground to the mainstream. There was a lot of guys who play better than me, definitely a lot of guys taller than me. But Dave gave me a chance to come in the band, and we did some really, really cool stuff together. And that kind of got me on the map, and it allowed me to get into places that I wouldn't have gone as this underground guitar player. And look at these guys that he has now doing the same thing. I mean, these guys are so incredible players, and you really need that to get his music out. And as a result, it's not only his music, but it's the music of all the members. It's, it started with the seed of his music, which doesn't change. Megadeth is Megadeth. You're not going to have one album that's like, well, this is the blues album or something. It's like, it's going to be Megadeth, but you get these guys on there, and they're so different from maybe there was another incarnation of Megadeth, but it's still so rooted in what Dave's original intention was that I think that is the key to keeping in the forefront. And I just want to say thanks for having me.
Of course.
Officially say it right here.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Very welcome.
Anything to say about it?
I can't add. I think you've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Because I've often thought that myself, because I look at the history of Megadeth. And it really is, I've told you this before, it is you ultimately. The music springs from your id and goes out and into the musicians. But I never thought about the fact that, he needed certain types of musicians who were open to the experience, who could excel in that forum. And that's really what it is. And everybody brought like a little nuance that made it, like in your era, you have a style that nobody else has. Right? So his nuance made that special in a very special way. But you didn't stray away from the formula at all. It was still, it was still the thrash stuff that Dave started. When I showed up here a couple of years back and these two guys were playing, I thought that, what? This guy is so musically deep. It's almost blinding to me. I love playing with him. This guy is musically deep too, but he's one of the great drummers. I rely on that. I mean, he's the kind of guy who he sets the beat, and then there's another dimension to the power that he sets that beat with, right? So the intention is still the same, as you mentioned, the original music. But there's something in this particular lineup that's just a little more pumped up than it's ever been, which is odd because we're all probably older than when the band started. So that's kind of cool.
When
And
Earth started.
but anyway, it's an honor and a pleasure to have you here with us. It really is. We were all really excited when we realized this was going to happen.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I just think it's really cool. Holding your own music together is the hardest thing ever. I mean, I'm doing the same thing, touring my own music, and it's never an easy thing. And so to do it at the level Dave's done it for so long, and retain that, for better or for worse, this is his music, and there's no apologies. Even the albums in the old days, where some fans might have thought, oh, we were, doing this that they don't necessarily like. At that moment, we believed in it, and it was real. And we can always sleep after putting it out.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to like everything. And that is, I think, really important in why the band is so long and why the band is so cool and why there's always going to be fans for the band,
Thanks, Marty.
I think.